Well, this morning we are learning more about a shooting in Rio Rancho in which someone shot and killed an intruder in their home. According to police, officers responded to a home near Uncertain Southern. That was just before midnight on Saturday. Investigators say that a family was sleeping when the suspect kicked the front door multiple times before forcibly entering the home. Police say that the homeowner then armed themselves and confronted the suspect before shooting them once. The suspect was taken to the hospital where they later died. Rio Rancho police say that the homeowner was released.
Turn to crime tonight. Authorities are looking into a self-defense claim after a deadly shooting outside a Madison restaurant. Officers claim there was a fight between 50-year-old Richard Trout and 23-year-old Skylar Whitfield Bruner. Now, in the parking lot of Barbecue on Gallatin Pike North, Trout ran into the restaurant with multiple gunshot wounds and was brought to TriStar Skyline Medical Center where he died. Police say Whitfield Bruner initially ran off, but later turned himself into police. No charges have been filed, but he was booked into jail for 2 outstanding warrants.
The NOPD is investigating a mid-city homicide 1 block off Carrollton Avenue. It happened here at the intersection of David Street and Iberville Street. Police say 2 men were shot around 11:40 last night. Both men were brought to the hospital where police say one of the victims died. As of now, no additional information is available. We're standing by to learn more. Still in the very early stages of this.
We're learning the suspect killed after trying to break into someone's home last night was a 51-year-old man. It happened at a home near 106th Avenue and Indian School Road. The suspect was taken to the hospital where he later died. No one else was hurt. The homeowner admitted to shooting the suspect. He was initially detained but later released after speaking with detectives. An investigation is still ongoing.
New at midday, an investigation is underway after a shooting in the Old City involving a suspected vehicle burglary. Knoxville police were called to the 200 block of East Magnolia Avenue and Morgan Street this morning. Based on their investigation, officers believe suspect Travis Bullock smashed a car window with a golf club near Knoxville Salvage. A 24-year-old man heard the window being smashed and confronted him. Bullock is suspected of hitting that man with a golf club, that man then shooting Bullock. Bullock ran from the scene after being shot, but he was located and detained by officers a short distance from the scene. Charges are pending.
And in Patrick County, a man is in the hospital after allegedly attacking an acquaintance's property and then being shot. Investigators say James Hazelwood watched from his window as Griffith Goodyear began hitting his car and home with an iron pipe. Goodyear then allegedly broke open the front door, at which point Hazelwood fired 1 round from a handgun, hitting Goodyear. Goodyear was then flown to the hospital.
The details are as follows. The off-duty officer and his wife was inside of their residence when they heard a commotion coming from the backyard of a neighbor's residence. The off-duty officer went outside and observed a male mounted on top of a female, punching and strangling her at the same time, at which time he notified his wife, who was inside of the residence, to notify police. She called 911, at which time the off-duty officer went into the backyard and intervened, separating the male and the female which were in the backyard. The off-duty officer was able to remove the female from the backyard and handed her off to his wife in the front of his yard, of their yard. The male half of what appeared to be the incident then followed the male then followed the off-duty officer into his front yard, where his wife had the female half of the altercation. The off-duty officer gave numerous commands to the male half to stop, do not come any closer or we will shoot, at which time the male continued to advance on them, causing the off-duty officer and his wife to shoot the subject, striking him. He was later pronounced deceased in the front yard, at which time LVMPD officers arrived to take over the investigation.
To some breaking news this morning.
Houston police say that a family dispute between two brothers left one of them dead.
The shooting happened inside a home on Morocco Road in northwest Houston. That's where we find our Rochelle Turner joining us live with more. Rochelle?
Owen and Sophia, good morning to you. You can still see HPD behind us. They are getting ready to clear this scene. We also saw a crime scene unit leave here maybe about an hour ago. But Houston police tell us they were called to this home 3 different times yesterday and overnight. The older brother shooting the younger brother in the torso. We're also learning that during all of this commotion, during this argument, that their mother, she fainted and hit her head. Here's what HPD told us.
Everyone's being very cooperative. Officers got here. They did everything they could. CPR, put on some chest seals, but unfortunately the younger brother did die. So tragic family disturbance that ended in a death.
And authorities tell us this all started just after 6 p.m. when they were called to the home about a dispute between the younger brother and his girlfriend over a phone. Officers arrived, and while there were no signs of violence, they helped escort the brother away from the home to diffuse the situation. But hours later, police were called back again when the brother returned, leading to another disturbance. Now, family members handed the brother clothes, and again, no charges were filed. Around 1:20 this morning, officers were called a third time. That's when HFD, Houston Fire Department, responded to a medical call after the brother's mother fainted and hit her head. It was then when officers learned that an argument between the two turned violent, ending with the older brother shooting the younger brother in the torso. Now, charges filed in this case. We know that the older brother is working with investigators. Later this morning, we will be checking in with Houston police to see if he will be facing any charges in this case. We're live in Northwest Houston. I'm Rochelle Turner, KPRC 2 News.
If the criminal does not fear the police, a judge, or prison, he must be taught to fear his victims.